didn't choose this cook's life. This cook's life chose me. Hunt for the Wilderpeople is a buddy comedy film directed by Taika Waititi. The film stars Sam Neill and Julian Dennison in the two lead roles. As the film is coming up and celebrating its 10-year anniversary, I thought now would be the perfect time to do a review of Hunt for the Wilderpeople, especially since I never actually did a video on it at the time. I don't know why I didn't review it at the time, but yeah, gives me a chance to actually review it now. And I really like this film, directed by Taika Waititi, coming off the back of the iconic What We Do in the Shadows that came out back in 2014, I believe. Yeah, I was very excited for this film. I didn't actually know a ton about it. All I knew was that, Taika Waititi was going to be doing Thor Ragnarok the following year, so I thought, well, I'm definitely going to go and check out Hunt for the Wilderpeople. And of course, I love What We Do in the Shadows, so I thought, definitely going to go and see this movie, and it really pleasantly surprised me. I thought it was just such a good time. It's a small film, a simple film. There's not really a whole lot to talk about here, but he just absolutely knocked it out of the park. I feel like Taika Waititi is the best there is at doing comedy films that are kind of, on one hand, kind of side-splittingly hilarious. They're just like ridiculous and nonsensical, kind of surreal and absurdist in a way, but also very kind of tender and heartwarming and emotional at the same time. He seems to be the best there is at balancing those two things. One minute you can't stop laughing, and then the next you're kind of crying. And it's like, I feel like it's a really tricky kind of tonal balancing act. He did a similar thing actually with Jojo Rabbit in 2019, which he won the Oscar for Best Screenplay. But I feel like Hunt for the Wilderpeople might still be one of his best films. Obviously What We Do in the Shadows is probably still his best, but Hunt for the Wilderpeople might be my second favourite film of his after What We Do in the Shadows. I mean, I haven't revisited Jojo Rabbit in quite a few years, so I'll have to go back and watch that again, because I do remember really enjoying that at the time. The film follows Sam Neill and Julian Dennison as this kind of odd couple who are kind of forced to work together through kind of a series of bizarre circumstances, find themselves on the run in the wilderness. And like I was saying, I feel like Taika Waititi is the best there is at making these kind of comedy films that are dealing with very absurdist, surreal circumstances, but at the same time, there's a real kind of heart and emotion to it as well. Both Sam Neill and Julian Dennison are great in their roles. It's mainly just about those two and us following those two in the movie. Sam Neill recently passed away, so I thought that would be another good reason to revisit this film, because it got me thinking about the great turn he delivered in Hunt for the Wilderpeople with this kind of deadpan comedy. He just really was just so great, Sam Neill. Because a lot of actors, they're kind of great in their heyday, and then by the end of their career, they're not as good anymore, they're not doing as many projects. But Sam Neill was like working right up until the very end. I think he's still got stuff that's yet to come out. But Hunt for the Wilderpeople really showed that he could be great at comedy. And like I was saying, right up until the end of his career, he was turning in great performances. He never turned into this curmudgeonly old man. He was great throughout this whole entire career, right up until the end. And he was great in this movie. The juxtaposition of him and this young kid who are complete opposites, being, stuck together, forced to kind of work together and get along, and just the unlikely kind of odd couple friendship that they developed throughout the film was done so well. Julian Dennison, I think this might have been his first film. It was the first thing I saw him in anyway. And he was really great in this. He was perfectly cast as the kid in this movie. And another thing Taika Waititi is great at, he's great at doing kind of kid characters that feel real and natural, and the performances he gets from the child actors as well are really great and really authentic. And yeah, Julian Dennison was great in this movie, and him and Sam Neill together were really good. And seeing that bond and that friendship develop over the course of the movie was just really heartwarming and funny and emotional. Rachel House, also kind of Taika Waititi's secret weapon in a way. She used to pop up in a lot of his movies. She also popped up in Thor Ragnarok the year later. I think she was even the grandma in Moana the same year too. But yeah, she was great in this movie. She's this Terminator style kind of child protection officer determined to kind of hunt down and get this kid. And this movie is just so funny. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of comedy films. It's not my favourite genre, but the kind of comedies I really do love, and this is one of them. The kind of absurdist, kind of surreal kind of humour where characters are, stuck in these kind of just crazy, outlandish situations. I hadn't actually watched the movie in probably close to 10 years when I revisited it the other day, and it still holds up. It's still funny. It's not the greatest film ever. It's not got a lot to it. It's a pretty small, simple film, but it does what it says on the tin, and it does it extremely well. Really, my only issue with the film is like a couple little nitpicks I have in terms of pacing. Maybe there's like a few moments where it kind of hits a little bit of a lull, like when the kid goes off to get help for that guy in the shack, and then he ends up spending a little bit of time with the girl and her father. I like that part of the movie, but it's kind of when the movie kind of stalls a bit pacing wise, it hits a little bit of a lull. But then when he's reunited again with Hector, played by Sam Neill, the movie kind of picks back up again. So there was a little bit of a lull that moment, I guess. But yeah, that's really all I have as far as criticisms are concerned. I just love this movie. Really great, fun time, real kind of breath of fresh air. Something quite different, being a New Zealand film, to the kind of crazy, surreal comedy that Taika Waititi is just great at. He's really great at natural, authentic, kind of real and believable characters as well. He's obviously got a new film, Clara and the Sun, coming out later this year. I hope that's good. I don't really know much about it. I think it's a science fiction film. I've seen the trailer. I still don't really know what exactly the film is. But obviously, yeah, as much as I love What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilderpeople and Jojo Rabbit, kind of Taika Waititi kind of fell off a bit. You know, he did a great job with Thor Ragnarok. I love what he did with that movie. But then with Thor Love and the Thunder, he kind of went a bit too over the top. The comedy in that film was a bit too overbearing. It became a bit too silly and goofy and ridiculous and nonsensical for its own good. I think they went a bit too far with the improv on that movie, and it didn't really work. So hopefully his new film is going to be a return to form for him. But as I said, Hunt for the Wilderpeople, I think, still holds up as one of his best. And it was really cool to see kind of Sam Neill in a really different kind of role and different kind of movie. Him and the kid work really well together. So yeah, not really much to talk about with this film, but really good, really funny, heartwarming little movie that I would definitely recommend watching if you haven't already. So there we go, that wraps up my review for Hunt for the Wilderpeople, coming up on its 10-year anniversary now. Have you seen the film yet? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to catch up on my last review, be sure to go ahead and click over here, or perhaps down here to catch up on another one of my recent videos. And if you like this and you haven't already, be sure to click subscribe to see more. But until then, I'll see you next time.